Hello! It's Nia and Trent from the Trident Network's Tournament Podcast.
We just wanted to pop in and tell you about the Tourney Pod, where each week we pit different pieces of pop culture against each other in a March Madness-style tournament.
We try to cover everything, from movies to TV shows to music to random stuff, like our hotly contested Best Pasta Shape bracket.
You can listen to the Tournament Podcast and all other Trident Network shows wherever you get your podcasts.
We hope you'll become an attorney at Pod soon enough, and remember, may the thing with the most votes win.
For someone so smart, why are you so immature sometimes?
I just don't understand the whole dating thing.
I'm not dating Adam.
You know what I mean? Going from one guy to the next till you find the one you really like. Anything as illogical as dating is such a waste of time and energy. When I get older, I'm just going to find the one guy I like and, that'll be it.
How romantic. So this guy you pick out, what if he doesn't like you back?
Don't be ridiculous. I wanted to do that as obnoxious.
It was so good. Oh, cut print. Perfect.
Hey, Val.
Hey, Al.
Welcome to D-Commentaries.
Thank you. Welcome to you and welcome to our listeners. Today, we're talking about The Ring of Endless Light.
Woo! If you think you know where it's going, you don't.
It definitely, it's a story.
It's a time.
Do you want to talk about anything before we dive in?
I really would like to say early on that this has to be the horniest decom.
Oh, yeah.
Of either all time or at least so far.
Up to this point.
The horniest decom.
100%. And ironically, also one of the more religious films.
Which makes no sense.
But maybe it does.
Religious teens.
Repressed
religious teens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very horny.
That's the one thing that I wanted to say right off the bat. Really excited to get into it.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Ring of Endless Light came out August 23rd, 2002. Not quite
It's August 11th.
It's August 11th. We're close.
Wait, what time? Val, this comes out on August 23rd.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Tuesday, August 23rd. Celebrate good times. Come on.
It's the anniversary.
That's really exciting, everyone.
That is really exciting. Ring of Endless Light was directed by none other than Greg Beeman.
Buzz.
Buzz Greg Beeman.
The Beeman. Buzz.
Beeman.
You like jazz?
Greg Beeman has directed other DCOM classics such as Under Wraps, Brink, Horse Sense, Miracle in Lane 2, and The Ultimate Christmas Present. So he's on a hot streak. I like pretty much all of those.
I have a huge question for you, Val.
Yeah.
Who do you like better? Buzz, Greg Beeman, or Stu Krieger?
Here's the thing. I wish, because Stu is the writer and Greg's the director. So
do we ever have a collab?
No, they have never collabed. Wow.
Well, now you have to choose.
I think I would pick Greg Beeman.
Whoa!
I really
it's
like
because your
this
favorite
list.
movie's Brink.
Yeah, my favorite movie's Brink. I loved Under Wraps. I like this movie, even though it's kind of weird and horny.
Yep.
So, yeah. And I like Horse Sense, too. So, I'm in for Greg Beeman.
Yeah. Buzz.
So, this story is based on a novel written by Madeleine L'Engle, who is better known for writing A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the book fans of this movie like the book better.
That makes sense. I mean,
that
most
is what
people,
the internet is saying.
Yeah. I know I was reading a little bit, like very briefly about like what they changed between the book and the movie.
Mhm.
I don't really care. I'll probably never go and read the book, to be honest with you. Although there was a part of me this morning when I was getting ready to watch the movie that thinks that I maybe did read this book when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Because I was really into like dolphins, whale, marine life.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a marine zoologist.
Same.
And I remember reading a book like about a girl who could communicate with dolphins, but I don't know if it was, spoiler, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was this one, but
Okay.
anyway, yeah. So she wrote this and A Wrinkle in Time, among other things, but those are the two more well-known of her things. And then the teleplay was by Marita Giovanni, who doesn't really have any other notable credits, and then Bruce Graham, who also wrote Right on Track, Tiger Cruise, and then Dunstan Checks In, which I don't know if you'd remember that movie. It's from 1997. It's a chimpanzee in a hotel.
Wow.
And then he wrote Anastasia.
No way.
Yeah. Notable
Wow.
not Disney movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I
That's
feel
Bruce
like him writing this and also Tiger Cruise and what's the other one?
Right on Track.
Right on Track kind of fits a narrative for
Yeah.
me.
I haven't seen those yet, so I'll find out.
I haven't seen them recently, but I know like kind of what they're about.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay, the cast is as follows. Misha Barton plays Vicky Austin.
She sure does.
Yeah, Misha Barton is definitely best known for her stint on the OC, but she actually started on a show called Kablam, and she also had a role in The Sixth Sense that a lot of people know her from.
Cool.
Because it's kind of a scary moment in The Sixth
Kablam
Sense.
is the like claymation.
It is some claymation. It's like sort of like an anthology cartoon variety show kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
On our rival.
Nickelodeon. Yeah. I used to watch Kablam all the time.
I did too.
So she honestly has not done a whole lot like since then, like since the OC, but she's around. Yeah, so that's Misha Barton. Then Ryan Merriman played Adam Eddington. You might remember Ryan from Smart House and Luck of the Irish. More recently, he's been in Pretty Little Liars and 42. Jared Padalecki plays Zachary Gray. Jared is absolutely best known for being on the show Supernatural for literally the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I do not understand. That show came out the same year I graduated high school. And
Really?
it's still, I think it's still going, or like it just recently ended. Like, I cannot believe this show lasted as long as it did. Like, it's like Law and Order.
So handsome.
Oh, he's unbelievably good looking.
Like, even in this movie, he is so handsome.
So cute. The other thing that you might recognize him from is Gilmore Girls. That's his other like big role that he's had. And he hasn't done much else because he's literally been on Supernatural for this whole time.
Oh, and he's also in New York Minute. That's the first time I ever saw him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's just that's the first time I ever perceived him.
I think this was the first time I ever perceived him.
You remember watching this movie? Oh,
yeah. I'll talk about that later when we get to first impressions.
Okay.
Scarlett Palmers plays Susie Austin, Vicky's younger sister. She was in Erin Brockovich, which now I'm starting to think that the casting director for Erin Brockovich was working on all of these DCOMs, because last movie we had like 3 people who were in Erin Brockovich.
Yeah.
And now we have her. I don't know. She was also
As a reminder, I still don't like that movie.
That's fine. She was also in Star Trek Voyager, and then she played Reba's daughter on Reba.
Cool.
But she stopped acting in 2007.
Okay. Sad.
Yeah.
She said, wow, Allie started high school. I need to stop acting.
More like she probably started high school and was like, I'm done. Soren Fulton played their brother Rob, and he basically just did like character actory stuff until 2014. So probably also kind of aged out of being a child actor and just stopped. James Whitmore plays grandfather, which
oh my God.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
He goes by grandfather. It's weird. Anyway, this man, prolific. He has been acting, or had been acting. He passed away, but he started acting in 1949. Wow. And he was in so many things. It's like impossible to pull enough examples, but like he was in the movie Kiss Me Kate in like the 50s. He was in Planet of the Apes in the 60s. He was in Tora 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 in the 60s. He was in Where the Red Fern Grows in the 70s. He is probably most well known, at least certainly to me, for being Brooks in The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is,
I saw that over the pandemic. I had never seen it before.
What did you think?
I liked it.
I think it's great. Do you remember him as Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did like that movie. I watch a lot of old movies and I'm like, I don't understand the hype, but that's one of them. Like I did not like Saving Private Ryan. I don't understand the hype.
Interesting.
We've had this conversation, I think, before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like it.
Yeah. And he's Brooks in Shawshank Redemption. And then he was also in The Majestic, that Jim Carrey movie about an old movie theater.
Yeah, I don't think I know that one.
So yeah, those are just a few examples, but like this man acted his little butt off for.
When did he pass away?
He, let's see, I can't remember exactly when it was, but he was like 88 or something when
he was old when he shot this movie.
Yeah. So he passed away in 2009. Okay. So he lived another 7 years. So he was in fact 80 in this movie. And then he died at 87. Teresa Wong played Dr. Zand. She was from Australia. So like she mostly has done Australian shows. She was on that soap opera Home and Away.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much it. And then Christopher Kirby played the harbor master, Dan.
Okay.
He's been in quite a bit, especially like back a little bit. He was in the movie Flipper. He was in the 2 Matrix sequels, Reloaded and Revolutions. He was in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And he was in a show called The Saddle Club for a long time. So yeah, he had a decent career.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the cast. The synopsis is as follows. During the summer, as her grandfather is dying of leukemia and death seems all around, 15-year-old Vicky finds comfort with a pod of dolphins with which she has been doing research.
That is not at all correct.
That is what?
Not at all correct.
That's so wrong. There's so much wrong. First of all, she doesn't know he's dying until like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Also, like, death seems all around. What does that even mean? Like, what? They don't even mention like the guys or like any of the plot.
The horniness.
Nothing. Weird. Also, fun fact. Kirsten Storms was originally cast as Vicky. And they actually had commercials with her in it. But she, for some reason, dropped at the last minute.
Did they have to reshoot everything?
I don't know. It didn't say. So it sounds like maybe they just like they didn't like film the whole movie yet, but they like, I don't know. I really don't know. It didn't say anything more than that, but I thought that was wild. But also I kind of think that I prefer Misha Barton in this role. Like she's way more serious. Like Kirsten Storms is really great at stuff like Xenon because she's good at like comedy and like timing and stuff like that. And it's not to say she can't play serious. She's kind of a serious character in oh my God, Johnny Tsunami. But like, I don't know. I think Misha Barton did a good job in this role. So I'm glad it worked out. Okay. Al, what were your first impressions?
Yeah, first impressions were it's not the worst movie. It felt very long.
I agree. I think so too.
For being an hour and 27 minutes, it felt like 4 hours and 57 minutes. I'm going to give this movie a 5.
Okay.
I would watch it again if I had to.
Fair.
Some plot choices were laugh out loud. But I thought it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Val, first impressions?
So I have kind of like a history with this. Not really, but like, okay. So when I was a kid, as I mentioned before, I was obsessed with marine life. I watched Free Willy on repeat. I like watched Andre, like any movie that had some kind of marine mammal befriends a human or some version of that, Flipper, like all of those movies, like I was obsessed. And I also, my whole life, the only recurring dream that I have ever had is that I can breathe underwater. Also, this movie is about a girl who is the child of scientists, mathematicians, and the only person who understands her and her more artistic nature is her grandparent. So there is so much about this movie that I relate really, really directly to, specifically to Vicky. So I remember watching this movie like at least once. Like it came out right after I got back from camp, so I would have watched it. And I remember watching it. And I don't necessarily have like active memories of watching all of these movies, but I definitely do of this one. And then I rewatched it over the pandemic. So this was one of the ones that I rewatched. Okay. So I'd seen it more recently, which is fun because then I kind of watch it with a different eye because I've already seen it kind of recently. Although at this point that was like 2 years ago. Yeah. Which is wild. But yeah, so I think like I have an affection for this movie because I like relate to it and connect to it more than like the average viewer, right? Yeah. Like, more than like you obviously did. I agree that it felt long, but I do think that the acting was good on the whole. I think the weakest actor of the main characters is Ryan Merriman, sadly. But I think Misha Barton has to do a lot without saying anything. And I think she does a good job of it for the most part. I really like the grandpa's acting style. I like him. I again, it might be biased because I just have an affection for grandparents in movies. But yeah, so I liked it.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you have any favorite quotes or moments?
I was very much paying attention to this movie, so I didn't write too much down because my first 3 notes are Ryan Merriman, Misha Barton, Jared Padalecki. So that's mainly what I was like paying attention to. So I have 3 favorite quotes and 1 favorite moment. I've got an appointment with who? A dolphin? In my mind and in my heart, and dream about me, okay? And then my favorite moment is grandpa drives, grandfather drives a VW Beetle, but it doesn't have a roof. And so they just have a big like patio table umbrella that he puts over the roof. It's so silly. Val, do you have any favorite quotes or moments?
Yeah. One of the siblings goes, "She's daydreaming again."
Oh
just made me laugh. Like, why is that bad? When she says, "I aced the English, but the math and science, wah wah." I was just like, yeah, girl, same. Oh, this was funny. This younger sister goes, "Here comes Prince, thinks he's charming."
The little sister was great.
Yeah.
I don't mention the siblings too much in my recap. So,
but she's very like sassy, like a tiny adult. Okay. Here's another deep one. What you think you're looking at isn't necessarily the whole truth.
Whoa.
I know. I really think there are things in this world that we're not meant to understand. I think Grandpa says that. You don't have to succeed. You just have to try.
Ugh.
Start trying to like yourself. To which I responded, fine.
Fine.
And then my favorite moment is anytime that Ryan Merriman is encountering a dolphin. It is so awkward. It's so bizarre to watch. Also, there is a 30-second period where there are 3 kisses and none of them are to the same person or being. And I was like, what is happening? There's so many.
There's no tongue for these teens.
No tongue. There was absolutely 0 tongue in this movie.
No open mouths.
No open mouth. None. There was no air connecting their mouths. Just a lot of pecking. Okay. I think that's all I have to say about that. I feel ready. If you feel ready.
My wetsuit's already off.
My wetsuit's off too. And those are hard to get off.
Those are hard to take off. I've been taking it off for the last like 20 minutes. Since we started, I've been trying to take my wetsuit off. It's finally off and we're in Spoiler City, baby. Oh, I'm so strong.
You're so strong.
Oh my
Look at those
God.
arms.
Welcome to Spoiler City, where I spoil the movie and Val helps me when I forget. There's a couple parts in here where I just wrote, I don't know what just happened, Val.
Val.
Literally, there's one part you're gonna laugh at. All right, Misha Barton. She's swimming around in an ocean, and she gets trapped in a net. So at this point, we're thinking, oh, is Misha Barton a mermaid? And then we realize it was a nightmare. She's not a mermaid. And then they show up to the island. Val, what island were they?
6 something.
Oh, 7 Bay Island. But do we know like where this is?
No. I mean, it's probably New England somewhere.
Oh, New England. Okay. They show up. They're on a ferry. Misha Barton and her 2 siblings. Misha Barton's name is Vicky. Throughout this entire synopsis, I'm going to go from their celebrity name and their show name, and you're just going to have to follow it. I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry. That's how I think. So they're visiting grandfather. Do not call him grandpa. He is grandfather.
So
and they're
weird.
at 7 Bay Island. And we go back to the house. Then grandfather says, where's Vicky? And Rob says she's daydreaming again. So she's having this very ethereal, I'm at the beach, just like contemplation time. She's sad because Zachary Gray hasn't called Vicky for the entire year. So it seems that every summer they come visit grandfather at 7 Bay Island. Mom is disappointed in her for something. They were talking about it on the phone. And then grandfather is getting the telescope that the sister brought because she's very, very smart. And then he sees that Misha Barton is reading a physics book, and we find out that she's not very good at math and science, and her parents really want her to go to this exceptional school, but she really likes writing and English and all of these things, but her standardized test, her math and science sucked. So she's trying to study physics. And then grandfather gives her a book of her poems that she wrote. And that's on good grandparenting.
Mm-hmm.
They have a talk. He's not feeling well. He says his back hurts. He's having trouble breathing, but he's fine. Then we see Ryan Merriman is here. He has terrible hair, but he has abs.
Yeah, they showed off those abs.
They showed off those abs. He's got abs. Also, a friend today told me that he really could have had a career like Zac Efron, and he did not. And I'm wondering where that went wrong. But nevertheless, he persisted. Then he shows up because he's friends with grandfather. And Susie is studying astrophysics to get early admission into MIT. Ryan Merriman already has early admission to Harvard in marine biology, studying dolphins, and he invites them to come look at the dolphins. And then we see Jared Padalecki, who's the guy who never returns letters from last year. So they had their love affair last year. He never called over the last year, so she's like, he never called, I'm sad. We find out later why. So then we have a dolphin science lesson, and we talk about ancient people that thought that dolphins were mermaids. And she's like, yeah, mermaids are real. And Ryan Merriman's like, they're not real, you stupid idiot. And then we get to the dolphins, and She can read dolphins' minds. She can telepathically communicate with the dolphins. And I wrote in parentheses, please do not start talking, dolphins. So I did not want this to be a situation like, what is it? What was the movie on Farm?
The horse.
The horse. Ready to Run?
Right. Yes, Ready to Run.
Ready to Run. Blech. Did not like that movie. Okay. Then, so we find out that she can telepathically communicate with the dolphins. That was a Jungle Cruise joke. Then we see grandfather standing by the water. He's very sad. We don't know why. Vicky goes back to the dolphins. Vicky is Misha Barton. She fixes her hair before she does. She's like, and then like gets in the water to go meet the dolphins. Like, it's so funny. Like when you're meeting a boy, but she did it not because of the boy, because of the dolphins. And then Ryan Merriman shows up and his sister's not there. And so, do you want me to go? Because she's like, they have this like mini feud in the beginning. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Then,
he's like very literal and scientific, and she's very like,
philosophical.
Yeah. And they fight a lot because of that.
Yeah. Then we find out that grandfather is a Reverend Eaton. This is where we get our religion in our face. And then Dr. Zand, the doctor who works with the dolphins, asks how G-Father is, alluding to an issue. But we sidestep it. And then they're going to try out the echolocator and get in the water. Excuse me. Then they find the boyfriend of the dolphin that they have in captivity. And Misha Barton is petting him, even though Ryan Merriman is like, whoa, Basil can be testy. How are you petting him? And he's happy and splashing. And then I wrote, this is the moment that I want to be in a dolphin movie. So then we find out that she can read the dolphin minds. And Ryan Merriman tells Dr. Zand that the Marie Rose boat, so a boat named Marie Rose, is treating the dolphins poorly by using a drift line, which is a miles-long line to catch fish. And instead it's catching, thank you, drift net. And instead of catching like fish, it's catching dolphins, and they're getting stuck and they're drowning. And Dr. Zand said they can't do anything about it. Jared, aka Zach, shout out to friend of the pod, Zach. Zach comes up from the beach and tries kissing her. So I was like, ooh, almost kissing. After getting off his jet ski, he apologizes to her for last year. And he says that he was really going through it, and he didn't joke, but she thought it was a joke that his mom passed away. And he's like, I'm not kidding. So he's been going through it. She is apologetic, and I understand. I'm so sorry. Still, you couldn't have written me one letter. I wrote you like 20. She notebooked. She was like, I wrote you a letter. 360.
She notebooked.
So the brother is playing Frisbee with the dog. Great Dane, 10 out of 10 dog. And he goes to throw the Frisbee in the water. The dog doesn't want to go get it. So the little brother goes into the water to get the Frisbee. And then Misha Barton senses something is in trouble, and she goes to find him. And oh my God, the dolphins save him. That's what I wrote. That's how she could sense it because the dolphins knew that he was in trouble. People around town keep saying to Reverend Grandfather that it's really good to see him, so she can tell something's up. And then she finally tells the Reverend about her dolphin feelings, about how she's, telepathically connecting with them. He doesn't think it's crazy. And she asks about being sick, and he's like, I'm fine. Then we have lunch with Zachary, and Ryan Merriman shows up, and he's mad because Zachary's dad runs the Marie Rose boat. And then Zachary at first is defensive and then is understanding of the situation. So they go at night to go look at his boat and see if they have a drift net. and they get spooked by the captain that lives on the boat, and they see the drift net on there, basically. Then Zachary takes Misha Barton home, and they kiss goodnight. They kiss goodnight. She has a mermaid dream, okay? She's a mermaid dream where she kisses not Zachary. Ryan Merriman, they're both mermaids in this dream. She wakes up in a cold sweat.
First, she kisses a dolphin. Then the dolphin turns into Ryan Merriman.
Oh, I missed that part.
That's what I was talking about when I said there were 3 kisses.
No.
Literally, I wrote in all caps, Zachary kiss, dolphin kiss, Adam kiss.
And that's my time. Wow. Then Ryan Merriman comes home. He stays for dinner. He tells his dolphin stories. And then the cop comes by and says they can't prosecute because, and they can't prosecute. And Ryan Merriman, with lots of gusto, says, dolphins keep getting slaughtered. And it was very passionate. Then, so they can't do anything, basically, unless they catch them using it. And they can't prove, or the cop went to go look and the net wasn't on the boat, which means the captain knew and got rid of it. So her and grandfather read a philosophy book together. Aw. I don't know why that's important. Then we get to Zachary's dad, and he yells at him about the drift nets. And he's like, because of those drift nets, I gave you this life that we had with the boats and the pool. And basically this entire time, Zachary talks to Misha Barton about his relationship with his dad, how it's really bad since his mom has passed away. But even so, they correct me if I'm wrong, Val. Even so, they should have gotten divorced.
Yeah. So the way that it sounded was that his dad's always been kind of a dick and his parents didn't really get along. And they probably stayed together because his dad was rich and his mom was like, whatever, I'll tolerate it for my kid and for whatever life I'm living. And then the mom died. The dad probably felt immense guilt and didn't do any work to process it. And just I doubt they had a very positive relationship before, but it certainly did not get any better with the death of the mom.
Yeah. Then we get to the dolphin that's pregnant is having a bad birthing time. She's breech. Bad birthing time, I'd say. And Misha Barton is like, oh, she doesn't want to be sedated. She wants the dad. And so they go out to the open ocean and get Basil. It's Basil. I'm just going to say Basil from now on if I ever have it typed. And go get Basil. And I put in parentheses, all of this felt by Misha Barton. And then once they let Basil into the enclosure, the baby was birthed, no problem. No longer breech. Literally Enid was just like, give me my baby daddy.
No,
and
it was breech. They showed the entire birth on camera.
I actively chose not to watch that part.
A dolphin butt comes out of another dolphin and just pops out, and then there's blood and everything. They must have just literally
I did see that part, but I just
a dolphin birth.
Val said dolphin butt.
Yeah, dolphin butt.
Okay. So Ryan Merriman, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, is mad. He's so mad, but also excited about this feeling because he was like, how did you know that that's what she wanted? She doesn't care. Jared Padalecki takes pictures of the boat using the drift net. So he was like, oh, I got some pictures of the boat using it or having it. And Misha Barton is like, I don't want to be studied and I don't want to know why this is happening to me. I don't want it explained. And Ryan Merriman is jealous of her being able to communicate with dolphins. And I wrote, I want to say bye to them. But they're friends again. So they finally made up. They're not going to bicker at each other anymore.
Yeah. He wants to study them, but secretly what he really wants is to be like her and be able to talk to them.
Yeah. Because he's very scientific. Keep that in mind. Yeah. She doesn't know who she wants to date, Val. she's really stuck. She's really, really struggling. She's like, she's stuck. So she goes to dinner with Zachary. She's trying to feel it out. Guess who shows up? You guessed it right. It's Ryan Merriman. And
he didn't just show up. Zach invited him.
Zach invited him and he showed up. And we find out that the pictures aren't enough to hold his dad accountable for the dolphin thing. And Jared and Misha Barton want to go dancing. They're on the mainland. So this has got to be like Martha's Vineyard or something, I don't know. Are there dolphins over there?
There's definitely dolphins off the East Coast. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So they go dancing and Adam doesn't go, but he comes by Misha Barton's house later and he's like, do you want to hang out? Can you teach me how to dance? And so they go to the fire on the beach and it's weird. They're dancing weird. Like, I can't really dance, but he's like, doesn't know how to dance. And she's like trying to teach him. And it's honestly uncomfortable. And then at the end of this fire, they kiss. They kiss. There is so much real kissing in this movie. So many, like I said, horniest movie. Then the next day they get back in the water to call the dolphins to like try to see what she can communicate with them. She's communicating with them and telling them to do flips. And then Ryan Merriman wants Misha Barton to ask the dolphins why they went out to sea and didn't stay by the science camp. And they pull her down and she's like stuck under the water and she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand what she just saw. What happened? And Ryan Merriman's like, you were screaming and you ran onto the sand. And she then suddenly remembers that the dolphins are like, you need to be who you are. And we needed to return because there's no secrets out here. And the ring of endless light. She saw a ring, Val, of
endless light.
Thank you. And then someone says, it's time to catch the bad guys. And then they're on a boat and Zachary invited them to get insight on, Zachary invited Adam to get insight on his competition. And that's why he invited him to dinner the other night. But although he is not here right now, and he's being a turd on the boat and he's like, driving all fast. And then he almost killed him and Misha Barton. And she makes him take her in. And he said, I was showing off. And she says, I'm sorry your mom died. And I'm sorry you don't have a good relationship with your dad, but you need to start trying to like yourself. Which is huge. Mm-hmm. That's what I wrote. And then she's writing and she notices that in the middle of the night, she's writing in her journal and she hears grandfather run out of bed. So she runs down to go save him and he calls her grandmother's name. Kara.
Is he one of them? I could be wrong.
I don't remember. I don't care.
It's definitely Cara.
Cara. Yes, that's what the subtitles say. And then we finally hear from, spoiler right in the beginning when Val said it, the synopsis, we finally find out that he has leukemia. Mom and dad don't know. No one knows except for everyone on the island knows. And then now Misha's the only person in the family who knows. He wrote her a poem the next day. She reads it and then they hug really weird. Like they had this really weird, like shaky hug. It was uncomfortable. And then we're just hanging out and then we see the exact dolphin family of Basil, Enid, and Baby fly into the net. And I wrote fly, okay? I did not write swim. I wrote fly and I almost deleted it. And I was like, you know what? Nope, that's my stream of consciousness. So they get stuck into this really long drift net placed there by Zach's dad. And then they're all chilling on a beach. They're chilling on the beach. And then Misha Barton gets a weird feeling about these dolphins. And so she knows they're in the net. She can feel it. She calls Zachary. They have male energy being mad at each other, kind of like when two rams are going at it. And then they get Basil to show them to the net. Val keeps laughing because it's Basil.
It's Basil, and I can't every time.
It's It's okay, just like we said, it's spelled Kara and Kara. It's spelled Basil, so I'm saying Basil. And they get Basil to show them to the net. So she like telepathically called Basil over to the boat, and then we see it's getting there. Then we get to Enid, and Misha Barton wastes no time, jumps right into the open ocean. No life jacket. And we find out that a drift net is like miles long. It's a mile long or like miles long, which makes sense because you're trying to catch a lot of fish and, you know, reel it in, even though they're illegal. And then Ryan Merriman jumps in to cut the net. And the captain of the Zach Dad boat sees them in the binoculars. And we get Enid out. So yay, the dolphins are saved. But Adam gets stuck and he's getting pulled in and he loses consciousness. But then the police boat is making its way downtown and the dolphins help Adam to consciousness because of the ring of endless light. And Misha helps him out of the net. Then the police catch them because they also told grandfather and the police. So grandfather's on this boat too. He is very much exerting himself, even though he said never felt better. Lie. And then the police catch the Zach Dad boat doing bad. They find Misha. Zach is happy they caught them. Then someone says to Misha, they spoke to you, didn't they? That's how they found him. Then they get home and grandfather is taking a nap and she tells the siblings what happened. Grandfather, then, I am not kidding, that night, legit dying in front of her. I mean, I wrote, this is traumatizing.
Yeah.
Her parents don't even know he's dying. Her siblings don't even know he's dying. And he says, no, don't call the ambulance.
Yeah.
And he keeps her there.
Yeah. He grabs
to
onto her
die
and
in
keeps
front
her.
of her.
Yeah. It's
horrifying.
like, I know they have a special connection, but it's like messed up that he did that.
And he says, let me tell you something important. And he has a lot of nice, I guess, last words for her. And that she is the light and she is beauty and you need to share it. And like really nice words, but like very traumatizing that like no one knows he's dying. And then she has to sit there while he loses his last breath. Horrifying. Then they are, I guess, coping with this. And she has a heartfelt conversation with her brother. Val will probably be able to elaborate.
Actually, this scene with her brother, it's trying to be like really deep about
It's not work.
the meaning of life. And it is nonsense. Like he talks about like if you lived on a planet, like basically it's about heaven, right? So it's like you get an upgrade when you die. And so like they're using, it's actually a metaphor. Like he's using a metaphor of like a planet where people don't have eyes. So like when they die, they get to go to a planet where they do have eyes so they can see. And he's like trying to make himself feel better by saying like grandpa's in a better place, basically.
Yeah. So everyone, I was right. And Val was able to elaborate. Thank you. Then she had Ryan Merriman read her poems, the poem book that she had. She's going to show the poems to her literature club. She decided to stay at the same school and not go to the exceptional school with her parents. She kisses Ryan Merriman on the cheek in front of her parents. Whoa. And then I wrote, when's the breakup with Zach? We literally don't see him again. And there's no closure there whatsoever.
No, I mean,
but
the
we
only
can
thing
see that she chose Ryan Merriman. But
yeah. Well, the only thing is he sees when they're coming back from the whole ordeal out in the ocean, she's holding hands with Adam and it's like very affectionate and he sees that.
Oh,
like,
okay.
And they like linger on him seeing it. So he's like aware, I think.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Thanks, Val. Val will probably be able to elaborate. Then the last line of the movie is all right, which is Ryan Merriman saying all right, which not all right. I''LL space WRIT, like I will write you. Because last year, Jared, said he would write Misha Barton and he didn't. And so the last line is Ryan Merriman saying, I will write you. And she is so happy, but skeptical. And she gets on that boat and goes home. And that, everyone, is a ring of endless light.
Two things. First, every single outfit that Misha Barton wears in this movie is currently in style. Every single thing that she wears in this movie would be like for sale at a store right now.
Like
And you would
Target.
see, yes. Like it is bonkers. Like her exact style is what is in style right now. It is crazy. One other thought I had during this movie is when the sister is suggesting how to like create the pro-con list and then weight the criteria and then figure it out based on that. That is literally like exactly the way my dad tells me to make every single decision.
Oh my gosh.
in
that's
my
so
life.
funny.
And
He's
it
such
is.
a mathematician.
He's such a mathematician. And it is the way that I make every decision. So like I will, like for house hunting, for example, I will like wait, like, do I care more about the number of bedrooms or the location or the whatever? And then I will like rate it and then I will like weight the rating. Right. And so and I did that with when I was like picking contractors when we had to fix our house. I did that when I was like picking wedding vendors.
Wow.
So it just made me smile because like that is literally exactly
That's
how
so
I make
fun.
those choices. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready to play bingo.
Me too.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Bingo, bingo.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. Dolphin bingo. One hit wonder song.
There is a song that they are dancing to that I'm like almost positive is a one-hit wonder song. Like when
Let's
they're on the
mark it.
beach.
Done.
Breaking the fourth wall, looking into the camera. No,
I watched a movie recently where someone looked in the camera and I don't think it was this one.
I don't think it was this song.
Okay. Holiday themed.
Nope.
But can you imagine Christmas dolphins?
Oh, I would love Chris.
I would
Christmas song.
love
I would love
Christmas
dolphins for Christmas.
Done.
I've always wanted to do that shed aquarium thing where you get to like hang out with the
Me
dolphins.
too.
Should we do it together?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do it as our Christmas present to each other, but we'll pay for each other then.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Clunky metaphor. Oh, yes. So
Yeah.
there's a couple, but like the most obvious one, the first note that I wrote was nets are a metaphor.
Yeah.
And they are. So like the whole movie is about like loosening the restrictions that other people put on you and that you put on yourself because like of what society is telling you is the way you should be living your life or the type of person that you should be. Literally at the end, they cut themselves out of a net. So
Yep.
it's a perfect.
It's about as clunky as it gets.
Yep.
Yeah. Parents who just don't get it. Even though they're not there, I would say yes because her parents are trying to make her to go to the school that she doesn't want to go to.
That's true. That's true.
It is
You're right.
a side plot, but it is part of the plot.
And I think the reason why she's so connected with her grandpa is because her parents don't get her. And he does.
Mic drop.
Cool, non-parent adult. Grandpa.
Yeah, grandfather.
Grandfather.
Reverend.
The Reverend.
The Reverend.
Rev is the harbor master.
Rev. He was the harbor master? I thought he was a policeman.
He was a policeman, but he was the harbor master. Like
Oh, he
that's
does
the
both?
type. No. That's the type of police officer he was. Like his beat is the harbor.
His beat. Someone too famous for a TV movie. Don Knotts. Remember when Don Knotts was in a movie? Val likes that joke.
It was Quince.
Twins.
I don't think. Hold on. When
You don't think
was-
that being in like Kiss Me Kate and
Yeah, James Whitmore. Yeah.
I'm marking him.
No, he'd already been in Shawshank Redemption, so yes, for
Okay,
sure.
cool.
For sure. Competition to resolve central problem. No.
Not this time. Although there was a competition between the two Rams of Jared and Ryan. A montage sequence. There was a lot of like dolphin montage.
Was there? I
There
don't
was
remember.
so much dolphin swimming.
Okay, fine. I don't remember explicitly a montage, but I believe you. Cliche villains.
Drift nuts.
The dad, yeah, the captain, like that whole thing for sure.
Yeah. Clothes or items you owned. Val has one. Is it a wetsuit?
No, so it's
Oh.
not any of the things you would think. But
Oh.
at around the 54th minute, She's coming in. I think it's like right after she gets kissed. She's entering her grandfather's house, which, by the way, that house is my dream house.
Yeah,
a
so
library
cute.
on a beach. Come on.
Yeah, and she was like staying in a loft. Like, I love a loft
beautiful.
moment.
I love that house. So anyway, she's walking in, and just to the right of the doorway, there is an old-fashioned ice grinder attached to the wall. And when my grandma passed away, I inherited a whole bunch of stuff from her kitchen and her dining room. And one of the things that I inherited was a grinder exactly like that. Like they look kind of like a spaceship. They look like a pencil sharpener on top. They have like a arm that you do this, and then they have like a cup that looks like a cone on the bottom, and then you put ice in the top, and then you grind it by hand, and then it goes into the bottom, and then you can put it in all your fancy alcohol drinks, because all people did in the 50s was make really strong alcohol drinks.
Wow.
But that is literally, I never in my life that I would
I've
see
seen
one
like
of those
another one
anywhere, maybe in Mad Men, but like not in a
decom
movie in 2002. So
Wow.
I
didn't even know those were a thing.
Yeah, I didn't until
Val
I
was like,
got it. I didn't until the box came to my house, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Grandma. So silly.
Did you have anything?
No.
Wow.
I have a picture kissing a dolphin.
Aw.
Does that count?
No.
Okay.
We
Next
already got
box.
this. Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60. So I think this might be rated higher, but now I'm not trusting my instincts because I know you were saying people don't like it. I'm gonna go 47.
56.
Oh, okay. All right. That's actually right around where I would have guessed.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you to go with your gut, but I didn't want to ruin it.
That's okay.
We get the point.
We get the point.
Happily ever after.
I'll write.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Your turn, Val.
Almost kissing. There's so much kissing in this movie.
They have seen that they've had more kisses in this movie than I have all year.
I think they've had more kisses in this movie than we've had in all of the other movies combined.
All of my lifetime. Oh yeah, all of the other movies. Someone who became famous. Jared.
Yeah,
Misha.
Jared. Misha, all of them. Betraying of one's real friends or values. Nope.
Not today.
Not at all.
Your childhood crush.
Jared Padalecki and Ryan Merriman.
Both. That's me putting 2 X's on the square.
Obviously bad special effects or stunts. Literally anything involving a dolphin.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, it looked so fake. I was like, what? If you're going to make a movie about dolphins, have the dolphins be with them.
If you're going to make a movie about dolphins, have the dolphins be I tried to do something, it didn't work.
Oh my God, I'm dead. Oy, oy, oy.
Disney Channel star square. Val changed the square. She changed the square. She did. She changed the square. She changed the square. She did. She changed the square. Now, this is probably one of our last, well, not yet, but one of our last few movies where we would have been able to still get
our old one.
Our old one, because Ryan Merriman is in this movie with a sudden should have been Kirsten Storms.
I know.
But we do have our Disney Channel star, Ryan Merriman.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. Musical number.
Can you imagine if the Christmas Dolphins started singing? That'd be so great. Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Telepathy with dolphins is magic.
Yeah. I would say so. I would say so.
Someone says the title of the movie. Yes, a million times.
Yeah, like twice or 3 times.
At least 3 times, yeah.
Yeah. Scoobeth Doobeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On a boat this time. The heroes create the problem. No.
Yeah, no. The lead is a fish out of water. Some might say she's a fish in the water.
I think in a way she is kind of a fish out of water, like in that she kind of just is odd and like she's hot, so everyone still has a crush on her. But like if she wasn't hot, like everyone would be like, who's that freaking weird girl?
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I think it's interesting that it took until this year, because if she comes every summer, like what about this year was different that she could connect with the dolphins? But so I think definitely with it being, if she's used to coming every year, this is a very fish out of water situation with that, with having her grandfather be, you know, kind of a little bit different this time. So definitely would agree with that.
Yeah.
Val, we have a very aesthetically pleasing trio bingo today.
Whoa.
Yeah. A ring of endless light. Okay. The magic is here. Happily ever after. We've got our X down from the top left corner. One hit wonder song, someone too famous for a TV movie. Happily ever after. Disney Channel star. Lead is a fish out of water. We have our X from the bottom left up. We've got magic, your childhood crush. Happily ever after. A montage sequence and parents who just don't get it. And we have our middle row going across. Clothes or item you own. Rotten Tomatoes. Happily ever after. Almost Kissing, and someone who became famous.
A star.
A star.
We made a star.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. You have to keep both my Happily Ever After song in there and that one, because those are the two Disney Magic Kingdom fireworks shows.
Okay.
So that's a
and
deep cut.
then can we just sing Fantasmic? Why do I know this?
All right, let's play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Val, this is going to be a hard game today, but that's okay. This is the game of Alley Ring of Endless Light.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm going to give you a movie title.
Okay.
And in the title is a celebrity's last name.
Oh my God. Okay.
You have to give me the first name of the celebrity. Example, Ring of Endless Light. Where is the last name? Ring, Alley, Ring of Endless Light.
Okay.
Alley, Ring of Endless Light.
Okay.
All right, our first movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Jamie Foxx.
Fantastic Mr. Jamie Foxx. I'll take it. The Family Stone.
The Family Sharon Stone.
Oh, I'll take it. I was thinking Emma, but I will take Sharon Stone.
Okay.
I will take Sharon Stone. Ford versus Ferrari.
Harrison Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
I like this game.
Okay. The Addams Family.
Amy Addams Family.
Yeah. Okay, this is not as hard as I thought this would be so hard. This one's so stupid. I'm so sorry. Actually, the last two are terrible. And this was a really hard game to come up with. I was still contemplating when we hopped on the call. Lee Daniels, the butler.
Tommy Lee Jones. Daniels, the butler.
Honestly, I'll take it. In my head, I had...
Or Gerard Butler.
Yeah, that's what I had. Lee Daniels, the Gerard Butler.
Tommy Lee Jones, Daniels, the Gerard Butler.
And our last one is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Walk Hard, the Dewey Courtney Cox story.
Yeah. I was also thinking Walk Hard, the Dewey Laverne Cox story.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Val.
Thank you for joining me, Al.
You're welcome. What a sweet time with a sweet pal.
Yes. And we forgot to do this last time, so I'm going to do it before I forget again. Next episode, we're watching Scream Team.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
I don't know if I've seen it either, but it has, from what I can tell, a good cast. So
Cool. Well, hopefully good cast means good movie and not good cast, bad movie.
Also, we should prepare you that after this episode, there's going to be a gap because we are taking Labor Day weekend off because Al and I are going on back-to-back vacations to the same place. So
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Schaumburg, Illinois. the diamond of the western suburbs.
The Midwest.
No, we're both going to Disneyland.
But not with each other.
Not with each other. I'm actually going to Disney. Well, I'm going to Disneyland with my husband. We're going on our wedding anniversary trip to California, but
Yay.
We are attending the actual place of Disneyland with hosts of another Trident podcast, the Tournament podcast, Trent and Nia.
Yay.
So they are also big Disney heads. So we're excited to have a good time. But anyway, the point is that after this episode comes out, the next episode is not going to come out until September 20th. So we'll miss you. We love you. We're sorry. We finally, after
I'm not sorry.
a year and a half, had to take a break.
Yeah, I'm not sorry.
Al's not sorry. But we will see you soon. Enjoy your break.
It's not,
us.
yeah. And it's not like we're taking like seasons off. We're taking a couple months off. We're literally taking one off.
One episode.
We will be back.
We will be back.
We'll be back.
And while we're gone,
soon.
you'll have an extra hour. So consider going and leaving us a review.
And listening to your favorite episode again.
Yeah.
Do
Give us
that.
an extra listen. Tell a friend, whatever you can squeeze into that hour.
Yeah. And Val shared her Disneyland story. I'm going with my ex roommate, Ryan, and we're going to the D23 Expo. So if you'll also be at the D23 Expo, let me know. We could take a pic.
Yeah. Great. Well, we will miss you, but have a great few weeks and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Or I'm sorry, we'll see you in 4 weeks.
We'll see you. Never. This is our last one. Bye, Val.
Bye, Al. This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.